Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Wednesday night brand night. And we're in for a treat tonight because we have an expert with us, Dr. Candace Holmes, and I'm going to read her bio because it's impressive. Dr. Candace Holmes is a transformative wellness author, speaker, and chiropractor with almost 3 decades of experience. Her journey into neurofeedback therapy began with a deeply personal experience. Her eldest daughters struggle with ADHD, so, witnessing her daughter's incredible transformation and academic success through neurofeedback, consistently earning a place on the president's and dean's list, that's impressive, in college, inspired Dr. Holmes to specialize in this innovative therapy. As a certified neurofeedback therapy practitioner, Dr. Holmes is dedicated to sharing its transformative power for mental wellness with the world. So we have a dual expertise of being a chiropractor. And of course, I love always talking to chiropractors because with Ken, we started with magnetic products, and the founder of chiropractic was first a magnetic healer, as
Healer.
he called himself at
Yes.
that point.
Yeah.
So anyhow, so you've got the experience with the brain health. So we're gonna talk. This is gonna be a at least a two-part series. We'll call it a two-part series. Today we're gonna focus on the brain and water, and then sometime in the future, probably second quarter, I think it's on schedule, will be brain and sleep because those are two biggies that affect the brain. So I'm going to pull up a slideshow here. We're using a little bit of a different slide. It's not going to be what you're used to. So work with us here. Um, and where did it go? Hold on. Okay, here we go. Can y'all see it?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'd like to start out talking, and I'm going to just chat for just a minute and then turn it over to you, Dr. Candace. So we like to talk about the kind of the broad thing. We're going to be focusing on water, but for those that are watching this and are brand new to Niken or somebody that's checking us out, we are a company that's all about creating a wellness home. It's this whole umbrella of products and technologies that are all about mimicking nature. It's a science that replicates nature, as you see that here. And so, this whole idea of a wellness home is an umbrella of categories that includes water, which is in the environment. So, we have water filtration and air filtration, we have sleep technologies, we have daytime energy products that are things to boost your energy simply by wearing them or sitting on them or putting the insoles in your shoes. So lots of different things to keep our energy at its most optimal and highest, all by again harnessing the science of nature. We have a great nutritional line, and you've heard some. We just have kind of gone through all of the different nutritional supplements with Ken, and many of them are good for the brain. So there's lots of things here that are synergistically layered in that help support the brain. So this whole wellness home idea is really the big idea. And tonight we're going to really focus on our water. So I'm going to switch, keep going with the slides and let you take it on.
Sure. So, as we all know, thank you, Sherry, for the introduction too. As we all know, water is the essence of life. Without it, we don't exist. You'll die without having water for a significant amount of time. And exactly, it's the most essential nutrient that you need to stay healthy. And of course, most people know the body is made up of 70% water. I've had patients that said, "Well, I drink tea. I said, "You need straight water." Just,
Yeah.
just unadulterated water. I don't know what it is. I remember my mom has since passed, but she just did not like to drink water. I said, Water is not kryptonite. You need to drink water to flush everything out." So again, almost every bodily function requires adequate hydration to perform well. Without it, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Next. So I love this slide. Keep calm and stay hydrated. It is indeed the key to wellness. Again, most of us are underhydrated, adults significantly. Most people feel that they're sick. They're not really sick. They're just dehydrated. If they drank water, then they would feel better. Lots of times, again, I have patients say, "I'm not feeling too well. I have a headache." I said, "Well, how much water have you had today?" That's the first question that I ask.
Mhm.
And most people don't even think about it. Water? Yes, water.
It's
Next,
great that it's so simple that can make such a difference, right?
just it's so simple, but
Yeah.
I guess we get too into our heads of what else it could be besides just hydrating ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the common recommendation is to drink half of your body weight in ounces of water. So, as this example, if you weigh 200 pounds, you want to drink 100 ounces of water. I have a lot of people say, "Well, I'm drinking a gallon of water a day." You don't need a gallon of water a day because a gallon of water, I believe, is 128 ounces, and these people are not, what is it?
256
I
pounds.
think
I
256
did the fast
exactly.
math.
Yes, I have a petite woman, who's barely 100 pounds, saying she's drinking a gallon of water. I'm like, you can waterlog your system too, which is something that you don't want to do. So, however much you weigh, divide it in two, and that's the amount of water to drink daily.
Right.
Next, please, to stay healthy. So, one of the things that drinking lots of water and proper hydration does is to regulate your body temperature for metabolism and support. So, just like I mentioned before, if you don't have enough, then digestion is affected. You have those uh, you get stuffed up. That's the best way to say it. And most people don't like to either be runny or to be clogged up. So you want to drink a lot of water to improve digestion, and it's also great for nutrient absorption. Again, if you're dehydrated, then all those foods that you're drinking and the beverages that you're consuming don't get to the right place. It's also excellent and essential for waste elimination. Again, you can get constipated if you don't drink enough water, and you don't want that. That's not fun at all.
Yeah. No.
And so much more. Next. Water is definitely brain health. I love this slide. Oh my gosh. Just think about, every time you're drinking water, you are improving your brain. Your brain, guess what? It takes care of everything. Everything starts in the brain. So you want to make sure that you are drinking water to make sure all the nutrients get up there from your gut because there is a gut brain association as well. And you also want to make sure that you are flushing out all the toxins because who wants toxins in their brain? It can result in short term memory, problem solving abilities, the ability to focus is significantly reduced with only a 2% reduction in hydration. 2%. Most people would think, oh, like 50%. No, two. That's significant losses with 2%. So you
Mm-hmm.
definitely want to make sure that you stay hydrated.
Yeah.
And one of the things I suggest to my patients is to have of course, weekend water bottle, but just some kind of container that has markings on it so that you know how much water you are to drink and how many times you have to refill that, and
Mm-hmm.
preferably with alkaline water.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
Before we move on, I would love to have you talk about what you've noticed because I know you promote the water filtration, the waterfall system to your patients that are
Absolutely.
going through this biofeedback.
Mhm.
So, what stories have you heard that has made a difference?
Well, I have this one patient. He's a teenager, and getting teenagers to drink water. I had to remind him he's also an athlete. And so I had to remind him that, just to stay athletically fit, you have to drink water to, rehydrate yourself and from sweating. I said, and if you also do this, then you can improve, your speed and agility and just your ability to make those split second decisions because your brain is hydrated and that can improve anybody's game. Oh, after I said that, he was all in. And so his mom was like, I don't know, he just started drinking so much more water now. I said, well, great. And again, the alkaline water, because we'll get to another slide later, but alkaline water is the best to drink just because the majority of foods that we eat and the foods that we consume, the drinks that we consume are acidic. And guess what loves disease? Acid. Acid loves acidic environments are where diseases prosper. So we want to make sure that we start from the inside out and make that less of an easy route for diseases to begin or to continue.
Mhm. Thank you. And if
Sure,
you have other stories to impart, we'd love to hear those as well.
absolutely. So better hydration means better concentration, better focus, better mental clarity. It can also improve your mood and reduce stresses. Again, everything begins in the brain. Water is so essential. It's such a like Sherry said, it's such a simple fix, but people don't put enough weight and stock in it. Um, my daughter is studying my oldest is studying to be an environmental chemist, and I visited her and her in her dorm, and she had all this pop. I'm from Detroit, so we call it pop Sprite, 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 Sprite. I said, where's your water? And she said, Mommy, I said, okay, you've been talking about, you just can't seem to stay focused. You just can't, not motivated. You're not, I said, you need to flush all that mess out of your system. I said
Yeah.
another word,
Mm.
but you want to flush all that out. So I had to remind her the importance about drinking water, just because you can try to instill in your children and your family the importance of it, and sometimes they need a refresher. And when they're away from you, they need a
Yeah.
refresher.
Yeah. No
So
kidding.
yes, and my oldest daughter I need to share was diagnosed with ADHD. So it's like I need you to drink your water, eat
Yeah.
well, and drink your water
Yeah.
and your alkaline water. She has the sports bottle.
Great.
Next, please. Yeah. Detoxifying. So a lot of us, when we think about detox, we don't necessarily think about drinking a lot of water, and that's where we should start. It supports kidney and liver detoxification, which or you may not remember. The kidney and the liver are the trash. That's where trash, the waste products. So we think of it, everything gets dumped out by the kidneys and the liver. So all the waste products that come from the foods that you eat are stored in there, and you want to make sure that you drink the water to flush them out your system appropriately. Otherwise, that's when you start getting the kidney diseases and renal failure and things like that. Detoxifying with water also aids in maintaining overall organ health. Again, think about, I always liken organs to a sponge. So when a sponge is well hydrated, guess what? It's pliable. When it's dehydrated, then it's not so pliable. So do you really
Mhm.
want your organs to be stiff and not glossy and glistening? So definitely drinking water does that. And then also your skin. Your skin is the largest organ that you have. So, drinking water, I know a lot of us would love to reverse the hands of time. Um, keeping your skin plump, as people would call it, with your pores, will helps it to be more hydrated. So you'll look more youthful and radiant. So, if you want to use that as a motivator to drink more water, if you want to preserve your youth, then that's the way to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. And I mean, this slide is not mentioning the brain, but I would think it would make a huge difference of helping the brain to be detoxified because you don't want a buildup of stuff, junk,
Anything? No.
proteins in the brain.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Talk about brain fog and lack of clarity, lack of concentration. It can also, a memory affects the memory as well. So, especially as I don't like to say we get older, as we get more seasoned, we want to make sure we drink a lot of water. And I found that in some generations of people, it's like water, again, like I said, was kryptonite. My mom, when she passed, was in her 80s, and good Lord, you took an act of Congress just to get her to drink water. And I would just say, I just keep on moving it to her. But when she grew up, apparently you ate all your food first and then you drank water. And so I don't know. It was a different time. I drink water to start my meal. It's like I feel like I need to, you know, get my throat ready for the food. So
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
it's just different.
Yeah.
Yes, please. So water is prevention. Drinking adequate water is a simple preventative measure to avoid heart disease, strokes, and cancer. So, we always hear about, making sure you're exercising. Exercising is also great for the brain because it gets the blood circulating to keep everything fresh. Coupling that with walking with water while so that you can drink it while you're walking is an excellent way to prevent these conditions, which are common, unfortunately, now, which is the heart disease, the stroke, and the cancer. Um, I think the brain is so wonderful, it's so complex. It's the best thing that you can do is to keep it hydrated, and you just I mean, between exercising and walking and drinking the water, those are the best ways to
Yeah. Yeah.
make sure that you can not only as you season, just to be sharp. I know a lot of people are concerned about, dementia and Alzheimer's, um, and a lot of that stems from movement or lack of movement, because apparently sometimes when people retire, if you want to call it that, they stop moving, and when you stop moving, a lot of things go downhill. So make sure that you stay active and you drink your water. You are what you drink. Yes, I call myself a water snob. So choose your source of hydration with care. I've gone to five-star restaurants and they ask if I want water, and I said sure. And I'll take my sports bottle and I'll take off the cap and pour my water in there to make sure that I'm getting alkaline water. Um, just because. Oh, I think the next slides will show the different types of, yeah. What are the best sources of water? Tap water. Not so much. Not so much. These are some of the things that can be floating around in your water. Bacteria, viruses, parasites, even lead, depending upon the pipes, the pesticides, the industrial waste, the pollutants, mercury, microplastics. There's been a lot of studies out about microplastics, nitrates or other industrial waste, fluoride, chlorine, which is, like you said, a necessary evil. I know growing up, that's all we had was tap water, or water off the spigot off the side of the house after a long day of being outside. And the way that the water is filtered um, is on a mass scale. It's not necessarily the best source of filtration.
Yeah.
So the trend now is the bottled water. So it's definitely bad for your health. From a large study in 2010, 1 out of 3 bottles tested contain contaminants, including bacteria and arsenic. Arsenic. And then one of the 4 bottles was just tap water. So you're paying all this all this money. It's also bad for the environment. We'll get to that next. And it's not even edifying you and productive for you and best for you. Next, bad for the environment. So
Yep.
oh,
Sorry
that's
about
okay.
that.
That's okay. Each year, over 250 billion with a B water bottles are not recycled. Not recycled. I'll go to an event that's outside, and I get so frustrated when everyone has these water bottles, but there is no recycle container there. It's just trash. I feel like I'm a bag lady because I start picking the water bottles out the trash. I would take them home and put them in the recycle bin, but don't get me
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
And then that means around 8 to 9 million metric tons of plastic ends up in our oceans. And so you think about all the aquatic life that are damaged and eventually die from all the water bottles and waste that's there. It's also bad for your wallet. It costs between $1 to $10 per gallon, depending upon the level of water you think you're getting
Yeah.
when you buy a bottle of water.
Yeah. It could even cost more than that.
Yes. So water filtration is your smartest choice. However, not all water filters are created equally. Some are much better than others.
Dun, dun, dun.
Like ours. So this is the waterfall system. So what makes the Nican waterfall system so special? This is a PIMAG waterfall. It produces great tasting pH balanced water in a range between 8.5 to 9.5, which is the alkaline range, which I was talking about earlier, which decreases oxidation reduction potential. So advanced filtration system provides water that flows between spheres of PI ceramic material to create ionized living water with increased bioavailability, therefore better hydration. Bioavailability just means that it gets into your body faster. It features a bed of mineral stone based on the agitation tumble filtration seen in nature. So one of the things I love about the Nican waterfall is that it is living water. So I tell people, you can pour regular tap water in the top, and then it filters into the second reservoir, and it even filters out the minerals. So we have mineral stones in there to put the minerals back in. I mean, that's how powerful the filtration is. And people are like, "Ooh!" So I have one of these in my office, and with the stones, it kind of looks like a fish tank. And so one of my patients said, "When is the fish going to come through?" I said, "Just no, this no fish in there. The stones are in there, but no fish." So the technology there is with the gravity flow and the multiple filtration. That's how you see the featured up at the top left. And then you have the magnetic technology as well, which decreases agglomeration, which is clumping for better water without adding those chemicals. And then also at the bottom, the materials are recyclable polymer and have magnets in there as well. And then, like I talked about, the capacity is 1.32 gallons or 5 liters, and the supply tank is 1.45 gallons or 5.5 liters with the mineral stones, like I just mentioned. So it only weighs about 6.6
That's
pounds.
like,
It's very light, very light.
We talked about that. Let's just move on here. So we invite you to join us. We don't have the slide today that has the wellness quiz, but if you're listening to this as a guest, make sure the person that invited you sends you to their website. So you go to their website so that you can take our wellness quiz and learn all about the Niken technologies. Thank you so much, Dr. Candace. That was awesome.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
I'm going to stop the recording at this point and we'll open it up for Q&A and some more stories if you'd like.